I felt a funeral in my brain, and mourners to and fro kept treading till I felt that sense was breaking through. And when they all were seated, a service, like a drum, kept beating till my mind was going numb. We know depression through metaphors, and Emily Dickinson was able to convey it in language in 1983. Good morning, dear instructors and friends. I'm Yağmur Güçlü from the Department of Aerospace Engineering, and I'm going to talk about main causes of depression, which are life events, personal factors, and changes in the brain. Let me jump into my topic. Before jumping into my topic, let me give you a brief information about depression. The differences between having depression and feeling depressed cannot easily understood. Almost everyone feels down from time to time, and even a rainy day can bring on feelings of sadness. Sometimes there is no trigger at all, and it just pops up out of the blue. Then circumstances changes, and those sad feelings disappear. But clinical depression is different. It's a medical disorder, and it won't go away just because you want it to. It lingers for at least 2 consecutive weeks and significantly interferes with one's ability to work, play, or love. And it's a more common disorder than we might think. As American Psychiatric Association state that depression affects an estimated 1 in 15 adults in any given year, and 1 in 6 people will experience depression at some time in their life. So, if it's that much common, I think we should know what the causes behind the depression. First of all, life events and changes may lead to depression. Continuing difficulties, long-term unemployment, living in an abusive or uncaring relationship, long-term isolation or loneliness, and prolonged work stress are more likely to cause depression than recent life stresses. And I want to show you a line graph. As you can see, the horizontal axis shows us the weeks unemployed, and the vertical axis shows us the percentages. And after 5 weeks, there's a sharp increase in the depression cases as the duration of unemployment increases. And secondly, some personal factors can lead to depression. Family history. First of all, family history. Depression can run in families, and some people will be at an increased genetic risk. However, having a parent or close relative with depression doesn't mean that you will automatically have the same experience. And some people may be more at risk of depression because of their personalities, particularly if they have a tendency to worry a lot, have low self-esteem, or they are perfectionists, are sensitive to personal criticism, personal criticism. And serious medical illnesses can also lead to depression. The stress and worry of coping with a serious illness can lead to depression, especially if one is dealing with long-term management or chronic pain. And finally, as a personal factor, drug and alcohol use can both lead to and result from depression. Many people with depression also have drug and alcohol problems. And the last factor that I want to mention is change in the brain. And the popular lore has it that emotions reside in the heart. Science, though, tracks the seeds of your emotions to the brain. Although there has been a lot of research in this complex area, still much we don't know about it. And depression is not simply the result of a chemical imbalance. Certain areas of the brain help regulate mood. And researchers believe that more important than levels of specific brain chemicals, nerve cell connections, nerve cell growth, and the function of nerve circuits have a major impact on depression. And most modern antidepressants have an effect on one's brain's chemical transmitters. So antidepressants are used to treat depression, and in Turkey, as you can see from this bar graph, the number of people who use antidepressants are getting increased. And today I talked about the 3 main causes of depression. Don't forget that everyone's different, and it's often a combination of factors that can contribute to developing depression. It's important to remember that you can't always identify the cause of depression or change difficult circumstances. By try to remember, storms don't last forever. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them. And if you are interested in this topic, this is my reference list.